Welcome to the Make Me Whole podcast, where we explore what it means to just live better. I'm your host, Joset Rosado, a proud Latina and licensed therapist, bringing that unique perspective to the conversation. So whether you're looking to deepen your relationships, improve your mental health, or simply just find more joy, this is where you need to be. Hey guys, welcome back. I'm so grateful to have you here today. I want to talk a little bit about a topic that is so very important to the work that I do every single day. Mental health resources for BIPOC individuals. We're going to talk a little bit about accessible and culturally sensitive resources that are available both online and in so many communities. Let's just jump right in. Now, before we begin, I really want to acknowledge that mental health affects everyone, regardless of their background. But it is important to recognize that BIPOC individuals may face unique challenges due to systemic inequalities, historical trauma, and of course, cultural factors. That's why it is vital to make sure and highlight mental health resources specifically designed to cater their needs. So let's start with online resources. Digital and social media landscapes have opened up so many possibilities, making mental health support accessible now more than ever. One fantastic online platform is Therapy for BIPOC. This directory helps individuals find therapists who identify as BIPOC or specialize in serving BIPOC communities. Representation and cultural understanding are crucial when seeking support, and this resource can make all the difference. Another wonderful online resource is the National Queer and Trans Therapists of Color Network. They offer an online directory connecting individuals with queer and trans BIPOC therapists in the United States. I'm going to be linking all these websites in the description of the episode, so be sure to check in on those. The NQTTCN is really a safe haven for LGBTQ plus BIPOC individuals seeking affirming mental health care, and that's so important. While online resources are incredibly valuable, let's not forget about the power of community. Many cities and towns now have organizations that support groups dedicated to mental well-being of BIPOC individuals. These spaces provide a sense of belonging, understanding, and cultural competence. For example, Latinx Therapy connects Latinx individuals with bilingual therapists and provides resources in both English and Spanish. Another such initiative is the Black Mental Health Alliance. They offer so many resources, including educational materials, support groups, and directories of Black therapists. Their work is so important in combating the stigma surrounding mental health in the Black community. And let's not forget the power of storytelling and representation. Books and podcasts can transform awareness and provide guidance. The podcast Therapy for Black Girls, hosted by Dr. Joy Harden Bradford, is an incredible resource that discusses so many mental health topics relevant to Black women. Similarly, Latinx Therapy, hosted by Adriana Alejandre, focuses on mental health of the Latinx community. Remember, seeking mental health support is an act of self-love and resilience. It's important to find resources and professionals who understand your unique experiences, cultural values, and perspectives. These resources we've mentioned are just a starting point, and there are countless other organizations and platforms out there waiting to provide support tailored to your needs. Now, I'd like to share a personal story to illustrate the impact of having accessible and culturally sensitive mental health resources. Recently, I received a message from a listener who identified as BIPOC, struggling with anxiety and depression. They were having a hard time building the strength to seek support due to the fear of being misunderstood or culturally ignored. However, after discovering the Therapy for BIPOC website, they found a therapist who shared their cultural background and spoke their native language. this therapist right here. This connection allowed them to open up and receive the support they desperately needed. It was such a great experience for them, and it empowered them to embrace their mental health journey with confidence. This story beautifully illustrates the power of accessible and culturally sensitive mental health. When people feel seen, heard, and understood, the healing process becomes even more profound. It just reinforces the importance of creating spaces that honor and respect the diversity and experience within BIPOC communities, right? I'd also like to introduce you to a couple of individuals who have personally benefited from these resources. We'll call them Ricardo and Mary. Mary, a young Black woman, struggled with anxiety for years. She always felt like she had to put on a strong front, fearing judgment and stereotypes associated with mental health in her community. However, after attending a local mental health support group organized by the Black Mental Health Alliance, she found a safe space where she could express her feelings without judgment. Through therapy and community support, Mary is learning coping strategies and gaining the confidence to pursue her dreams. Ricardo, a queer Latinx individual, faced such unique challenges in navigating his mental health. He often felt isolated and misunderstood within his own cultural community. That changed when he discovered the National Queer and Trans Therapists of Color Network. Connecting with a therapist who shared his queer and Latinx identity was life-changing. He finally felt seen and validated, and his mental health well-being improved significantly. These stories, they just highlight the incredible impact of having culturally sensitive mental health accessible to people who need it. They remind us of the resilience and strength within BIPOC communities and the power of finding support that just really talks to our identities and experiences. So before I end this episode, I want to remind you of some of the resources and support that you can find if you're a person who resonates with the BIPOC community and want to focus on your mental well-being. Research online platforms like Therapy for BIPOC, NQTTC, and Latinx Therapy, Black Mental Health Alliance to find those therapists who can understand your cultural background and offer you specialized care. Also, explore local community organizations, support groups, those that are dedicated to working within the BIPOC communities. Remember that these spaces are going to provide that sense of belonging and understanding. And also engage in books, podcasts, and other forms of media that highlight mental health journeys and experience of the individuals like you in the BIPOC community. This representation can be empowering and educational. Remember that you're not alone in your mental health journey, and there is support available specifically designed to cater to your needs. Embrace the power of accessible and culturally sensitive resources. Make sure you're seeking help, sharing your story, and taking action towards your well-being. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you found the information in this episode helpful, please be sure to share it with people that you love or people in the community that you know could benefit from it. I think it's so important for us to create a safe space in our world where mental health is prioritized and accessible to everyone. If you'd like to reach out to me, please do so. You can send me an email at josette@mmwpodcast.net. You can also find us on Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram at Make Me Whole Podcast. Remember, complain less and do more, and I will see you on the next one. Take care.